Happy Wednesday, Raw Food Rehab. It is January the 20th. We're 12 days into our 11-week initiative, and I just got back from the post office mailing 70 copies of Raw Food Cleanse out to the people who actually made the book possible. And I've got a little clip of that that I'll share with you here just right now. Well, I'm really excited because I just put the finishing touches on 70 Raw Food Cleanse books. I have personally autographed, signed, stuffed, addressed, and licked 70 envelopes. I'm sending books out to all of the people who finished the experiment that we did to actually write the book, The Raw Food Cleanse. And so I'm on my way to the post office right now to get these mailed. So it was such a great feeling today to be able to sign those books, put them in the mail to all the people who, honestly, if it weren't for the original cast of Raw Food Rehab, we wouldn't have this website today. We wouldn't have this community today. And I certainly would not have the Raw Food Cleanse today. I mean, I could have probably, and I would have ended up writing some sort of a book, but it is much more rich and much more meaningful when you have real life stories about how this diet and the lifestyle changes has impacted people's everyday walking around, eating, sleeping, and breathing lifestyle. So I trust that those of you who have already ordered the Raw Food Cleanse are beginning to get those in the mail. If you haven't already ordered it, you can get on Amazon, and it's only around like $9 and something. And I just would love for you to order it. I think that it is I think it's going to be a classic book for your bookshelf. And I think it's a very simple read, but there's a lot of depth to it, and there's a lot of truth in the book. So that brings me to what I really wanted to talk to you about today, and that is the question that either somebody's already asked it of you, or someone probably will. The longer you stay with the raw food diet, somebody's going to ask you the question, where are you getting your protein? I mean, you're eating all those fruits and vegetables and everything. I mean, if you're not really eating meat or not very much meat, I mean, aren't you worried that you're not getting enough protein? I mean, have you guys had somebody ask you that already? I mean, well-meaning friends, families, co-workers, I've been asked that question so many times. And so I want to be able to help give you the tools and the information that you need to answer that question. The first thing I'm going to put up here is a link to, or actually I'll probably just embed the video. My good friend Tim Van Orden it's like a 4-minute YouTube video on the protein myth. It's a must watch. You have to watch it. It's an eye-opener if you haven't already seen it. In the Raw Food Cleanse, I do talk about plant-based proteins and why I particularly believe that they are far superior to any kind of protein that we would get in animal products. Let's see. I bet that is, one guess, it's either my child or it's Susan Bradbury calling. Susan Bradbury. I'll call you back. Okay. That's what I get for not turning the ringer off on the phone, right? Usually I always turn the ringer off when I make a video, but anyway, that's so funny. She's calling to make sure I got the books out in the mail, I'm sure. So yes, they're out in the mail. Anyway, so this protein thing, plant-based protein. What does that mean? Okay. Every food has amino acids in them. And amino acids, when they get into your body, they are so easy for your body to digest. That's the building blocks of what protein is, okay? All fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, everything has amino acids as long as it's raw. And so your body really assimilates that very well. So, you know, just like, for example, a big, strong, muscular cow out in the field is a vegetarian. That cow does not eat meat. It doesn't eat flesh. How is it possible that it is such a muscular creature out there grazing on grass all day long? I mean, maybe it gets a little grain every now and then or a little bit of hay or something, but they're not eating meat products. So Actually, most, like primates don't, they might eat a bug every now and then, but they don't eat any protein per se as we know it. And they are, I mean, if you've seen a orangutan or a chimpanzee or a gorilla, I mean, my gosh, talk about muscular, amazing muscular structure. And so the deal is you've got a steak, for example. Red meat is only 22% protein. And that protein is a complete protein, and so your body has to work really, really hard to break that down into amino acids, which it uses to, and that's what really, I mean, so you're having to do all this extra work when you eat complete protein like an animal protein. Plant protein is just immediately usable by your system. And so we've all been sold a bill of goods by I'll probably get banned on YouTube for saying this, by the Meat and Dairy Council. I mean, they've done a fabulous job of advertising and promoting with their propaganda how wonderful meat, eggs, and milk are for you. If you haven't read the China study, okay, if you haven't read it, there's a lot of scientific research in it, but I highly recommend you read the China study. It will equip you and arm you with every bit of information that you need to answer the question. Another book, I just happened to pull these off of the shelf this morning. So the China study, actually Susan put, and that might be what she was calling me about, she put a 45-minute video of T. Colin Campbell talking about this very subject that we're talking about into the media room. So that's freshly been put up today. You might want to check that out. Author of the China Study. Awesome book. Very widely respected by people in the know. And then one of my all-time favorites, There Is a Cure for Diabetes by Gabriel Cousens. And here's the deal. Whether you have diabetes or whether anybody in your family has diabetes, this is a must-read. Check it out at your library. Borrow it from a friend. You need to read this book. Gabriel Cousens, who is a medical doctor as well as a naturopath and just like off the charts brilliant, talks a lot about this whole protein myth and how we as human beings, we just don't need the type of protein that the media is trying to tell you that we need. So I just want to encourage you to educate yourself on this subject. If you are concerned, the best sources of plant-based protein are going to be hemp seeds. You can buy hemp protein powder, put that in your smoothies. I just use the seeds. I put them in salads, smoothies. I make hemp milk. I mean, I love hemp seeds. The flavor is very light. I think it's just an excellent, I love the flavor. Hemp nuts, some people call them. And then spirulina, which is actually a blue-green algae, which sounds gross to some people. Spirulina is 65% protein. I mean, it's got a complete profile of amino acids. It's probably the best thing that you can put into your body. I don't like it straight. Sometimes I'll sprinkle it on salads, but what I do is I mix spirulina powder in with grapefruit juice or citrus. It totally cuts that, you know, really dark blue-green color and flavor. I think that everybody should add spirulina. Find a way. I mean, if you don't like the loose powder, get the capsules. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about, so if you're not eating meat or animal products in your diet, the B12 issue. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. I think it's really super important. I know a lot of you guys have a lot of knowledge on the subject matter that we're talking about today. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to get your 2 cents and chime in on this discussion. I mean, you don't even have to talk about it. We'd really just love to hear how you're doing on day 12 of our 11-week Total Health and Weight Loss Initiative. Holler. See you later. Bye.